Liverpool rocked by shock twists on and off the pitch. Don't miss a second. Subscribe now for instant Reds updates, exclusives, and breaking alerts.
News headline: Liverpool emergency talks to change transfer terms fail as Slot makes huge Van Dijk claim. News in details: Liverpool have held talks over the future of Harvey Elliott, reliable sources confirm, while Arne Slot has dropped a telling update on the future of Virgil van Dijk and another Anfield star. The Reds had a largely quiet January window, which was always the plan after spending close to £450 million on new additions last summer. But they did complete one big piece of business, beating Chelsea to a deal worth £60 million for Rennes' 20-year-old centre-back Jeremy Jacquet, who will move to Merseyside at the season's end. The big news surrounding Liverpool transfers today has not been about targets, but instead about the futures of three of their players, and Slot has made his feelings clear on two of them. Liverpool holds showdown talks with Aston Villa, but it's bad news. Liverpool have held emergency talks with Aston Villa to modify the terms of Harvey Elliott's loan agreement, and the BBC have revealed the outcome of those discussions. The 22-year-old joined Villa on a season-long loan last summer that contains a conditional obligation to buy worth £35 million. For the buy clause to be triggered, he must make 10 appearances for the Midland side. Elliott appeared 5 times for Villa earlier in the campaign, but then found himself dropped from the squad after Unai Emery decided he doesn't want to pay the money for the Liverpool loanee. Elliott did feature off the bench for Villa against Brentford last Sunday, his first appearance since October, but it appears he will never get past that 10-game threshold. According to the latest from the BBC, Liverpool and Villa have held talks about changing Elliott's deal. Unfortunately for all parties, the two clubs have failed to find common ground. They stated, in the light of his limited game time and Emery's often brutal honesty about his lack of interest in signing him, Liverpool and Villa discussed altering the agreement in recent days. However, they failed to find a solution, and Emery has suggested he is not for turning. Liverpool planning for life with or without Van Dijk. Meanwhile, Slot has revealed the club's plans in the center of their defense amid lingering doubts over the futures of Van Dijk and Ibrahima Konate. Van Dijk, 34, has been linked with potential moves away recently, while Konate, 26, is out of contract at the season's end, and efforts to extend his deal have failed so far. With Jacquet set to arrive, Slot was questioned on the future of Van Dijk. He insists Liverpool are already planning for life with or without him. Nothing that's done over here is ever from panic. It's always a long-term idea or something that has been thought about for a long time, by not only one person, but by multiple people. Of course, we are aware of the fact that Virgil will not play for this club for 10 more years, but he has a 1.5-year contract left, so he will be with us for that period of time, and maybe even longer if he keeps staying as fit as he is now. Slot sends a defiant message to FSG. In other news, Slot has sent a clear message to Liverpool owners Fenway Sports Group. Curtis Jones cannot be allowed to leave. With his current deal due to expire in around 16 months, Inter Milan opened talks over a surprise move to bring the England international to the San Siro towards the end of the January window. Ultimately, Inter weren't able to prize Jones away from Anfield, with our transfer correspondent, Graham Bailey, making it plainly clear why the Reds were not in a position to sanction the switch. Inter are thought to remain interested, primed to make another attempt to sign him in the summer if he doesn't pen a contract extension before then. But Slot is far from pleased at the prospect of Jones leaving, and made that clear to FSG and the media earlier today. He has played a lot of minutes and has been unlucky in the sense that midfield is the only line where we haven't had injuries. We kept him because we have players, but we need players in these positions. At the moment, we need to start midfielders in different positions, so that line gets smaller and smaller. We kept him, his situation hasn't changed for us. He is one of 16 outfield players we have available, with 2 young players in Trey Nyoni and Rion Gumaha, so it would be strange if we let anyone go.
News headline: Real Madrid plotting double raid on Liverpool as U-turn made and star spotted at the Bernabeu. Real Madrid are pushing to sign 2 Liverpool stars in an audacious double raid this summer, with one target back on their radar and another red sensation spotted at the Bernabeu, per bombshell reports. The La Liga giants prized Trent Alexander-Arnold away from Anfield last summer after his Liverpool contract expired, and they want to repeat that trick again. Real Madrid have entered a new post-Xabi Alonso era under interim boss Álvaro Arbeloa. The managerial situation remains uncertain, with club president Florentino Perez still assessing his options, but work is ongoing behind the scenes for the summer transfer window. Real Madrid make U-turn on Liverpool star. Ibrahima Konaté's contract situation still has Real Madrid on red alert, and they're once again giving serious thought to signing him on a free transfer, per reports. His current deal expires at the end of the season, and the La Liga side have long been heavily linked with a move for the center-back. In December, several reliable sources reported that Real Madrid had decided against a move for Konaté, as they were happy with the performances of Dean Huijsen and Eder Militao. Since, though, Huijsen's form has dripped, and Militao has been hit with injury setbacks. And in a significant twist, fresh reports from Spain claim Madrid are still keen on Konaté, but they'll only move for him on one condition, which is that he drops his wage demands. Madrid have identified signing a new center-back as one of their objectives in the summer, said ESPN Madrid correspondent Rodra. They are closely monitoring players whose contracts are expiring, and Liverpool's Ibrahima Konaté is one of them. His financial demands previously ruled Madrid out of the running, but if Konaté lowers those, he could become an option again. Liverpool haven't given up hope of an extension, but time is running out. With that in mind, they've scheduled another crunch meeting with his agent. Meanwhile, Real Madrid have their eye on another Liverpool star. They are understood to be big admirers of the Reds' 15-year-old academy sensation Josh Abe. Abe has been playing above his age group this season, impressing in the Under-18 Premier League, and even made his debut in the UEFA Youth League earlier this week, which is Under-19 level. But in what could be deemed a worrying development for Liverpool, he recently changed agents and is now represented by none other than Trent Alexander-Arnold's brother Tyler, who works for PLG Agency. The Daily Mail's Liverpool correspondent Lewis Steele has revealed the latest on the youngster and made clear that Liverpool could struggle to keep hold of him amid interest from Real Madrid and other top sides. After posing the question, can Liverpool hold on to Abe, Steele said, "It was also interesting to see 15-year-old Joshua Abe make his debut off the bench in the Youth League, the youngest Red star to do so in that competition. As Confidential has previously reported, Abe has a long list of suitors trying to poach him, and he is also just signed for PLG Agency, which represents the likes of Trent Alexander-Arnold and Andy Robertson, but also academy lads like Luke Chambers and Calvin Ramsey. It is believed he turned down other high-profile agents in bids to represent him and was recently spotted at Real Madrid's Santiago Bernabeu. Real Madrid stung by huge Chelsea demand. In other news, a report from Spanish outlet Mundo Deportivo claims that Chelsea will demand a minimum of €100 million, or £87 million, or $118 million for Enzo Fernandez, amid interest from Real Madrid. The report adds that it could actually take as much as €120 million, or £105 million, or $140 million to lure him from Stamford Bridge. Even that seems on the low side, given Chelsea paid around £107 million to sign him. But whatever the price tag, Real Madrid's interest in Fernandez is understood to be concrete. Whether they can get him, though, still remains to be seen.
News headline: Liverpool hold emergency talks to readjust Star's transfer as BBC reveal outcome. News in details: Liverpool have held emergency talks with Aston Villa to modify the terms of Harvey Elliott's loan agreement, and the BBC have revealed the outcome of those discussions. Elliott, 22, joined Villa on a season-long loan last summer that contains a conditional obligation to buy worth £35 million. The conditions that trigger the clause are Elliott making 10 appearances in a Villa shirt. He quickly racked up 5 outings for his loan side, though when the autumn came, his situation changed. Unai Emery and Villa came to the conclusion they did not want to sign the playmaker outright. As such, they began to omit Elliott from their matchday squads entirely to ensure he didn't reach the 10-appearance target. Elliott's deal does not contain a recall clause, meaning Liverpool couldn't simply bring the attacker back in January without negotiating a settlement with Villa. What's more, Elliott would not have been able to join another club in the UEFA Confederation mid-season, having already represented 2 teams this term. According to a recent update from The Athletic, Elliott had secretly hoped Liverpool would bring him back last month. Elliott's situation then changed in recent weeks when injuries to Boubacar Kamara, John McGinn, and Yuri Tielemans saw the player brought back in from the cold. He's featured in each of Villa's last 2 matches, meaning he's now just 3 games away from his loan being turned permanent. Yet Villa and Emery still don't wish to sign the player long-term, and the prospect of opening dialogue with Liverpool to adjust the terms of the agreement was floated. One of 2 possible outcomes were in play. The appearance target is raised much higher than 10, or the obligation is turned into an option. If either of those scenarios transpired, Villa would be freed up to select Elliott far more, and one of Liverpool's most saleable assets would put himself in the shop window ahead of further exit opportunities in the summer. According to the latest from the BBC, Liverpool and Villa have held talks about changing Elliott's deal. Unfortunately for all parties, the 2 clubs have failed to find common ground. They stated, "In the light of his limited game time and Emery's often brutal honesty about his lack of interest in signing him, Liverpool and Villa discussed altering the agreement in recent days. However, they failed to find a solution, and Emery has suggested he's not for turning. If no compromise can be found, the likelihood is Elliott may make appearance numbers 8 and 9 for Villa before being relegated to the reserves for the remainder of the season. It's a situation that does not help Villa, Liverpool, or Elliott, though it's the one they all find themselves in." Latest Liverpool news: Kounde U-turn, exit finalized, McAllister sale feasible. In other news, Real Madrid are seemingly back in the mix to snap up Ibrahima Kounde via free agency, despite informing Liverpool they wouldn't pursue the player in late 2025. Elsewhere, Liverpool have finalized the under-the-radar departure of a teenage winger who departs Anfield after a 5-year spell and has signed for Stoke after a successful trial. Finally, The Athletic have explained why Real Madrid moving for Alexis McAllister in the summer is now feasible.
News headline: Liverpool forward spotted at the Bernabeu as fears he's joining Real Madrid explode. Liverpool appear to be in growing danger of losing a highly regarded forward to Real Madrid after he was spotted at the Bernabeu. Liverpool may have got the better of Real Madrid each of the last 2 times they've played, but off the pitch, the Reds generally come off second best. Real Madrid signed Liverpool's primary midfield target in successive summers: Aurelien Tchouameni, 2022, Jude Bellingham, 2023. Los Blancos beat Liverpool to the punch for Dean Huijsen last summer, but the biggest insult of all came when poaching Trent Alexander-Arnold. The right-back often spoke about wanting to captain his boyhood club one day, but that proved to be all talk, with Alexander-Arnold running his contract down and learning Spanish in secret while doing so. Ultimately, Liverpool were able to collect a €10 million fee when capitalizing on Real's desperation to feature Alexander-Arnold in the Club World Cup. Nevertheless, that was a mere fraction of the player's true value. The agent who engineered Alexander-Arnold's move to Madrid was his brother, Tyler Alexander-Arnold, who operates the PLG agency. Tyler is also the agent of Andy Robertson, who came close to leaving Liverpool for Tottenham last month. Tyler is widely regarded among the Reds fan base as being anti-Liverpool, and there's even been rumors of Liverpool discreetly dissuading players from signing with his agency. However, one player on Liverpool's books who recently joined up with PLG is 15-year-old wonder kid Josh Abe. Despite his tender age, Abe is tearing up the Under-18s Premier League this season and even made his debut in the UAE for Youth League earlier this week, which is Under-19 level. Yet according to the Daily Mail's Merseyside correspondent, Lewis Steele, Liverpool are facing an almighty task to retain Abe, and the youngster employing Tyler Alexander-Arnold as his agent will only serve to complicate matters. It's common knowledge Abe's family are Arsenal fans, but the greater revelation came when Steele noted Abe was recently spotted
spotted at the Bernabeu. Given the speculation around Abe and his association with the PLG agency, it's easy to see why Liverpool might feel so uneasy about the talented teen's future. After posing the question, can Liverpool hold on to Abe, Steele continued, "It was also interesting to see 15-year-old Joshua Abe make his debut off the bench in the Youth League, the youngest Red star to do so in that competition. As Confidential has previously reported, Abe has a long list of suitors trying to poach him, and he has also just signed for PLG agency, which represents the likes of Trent Alexander-Arnold and Andy Robertson, but also academy lads like Luke Chambers and Calvin Ramsey. It is believed he turned down other high-profile agents in bids to represent him and was recently spotted at Real Madrid's Santiago Bernabeu." Latest Liverpool news, Curtis Jones/Harvey Elliott. In other news, Arne Slot has told FSG in no uncertain terms that the club cannot afford to lose homegrown midfielder Curtis Jones amid rising claims a move to Inter Milan could be resurrected in the summer, and with a well-informed journalist providing a bleak update on talks over a new deal. Elsewhere, Liverpool have held emergency talks with Aston Villa to modify the terms of Harvey Elliott's loan agreement, and the BBC have revealed the outcome of those discussions.
News headline: Barcelona willing to sell 80 million French star to Man U or Liverpool after unexpected scenario, report. Manchester United are keen on bringing Jules Kounde to Old Trafford, while Liverpool are aiming to convince the Barcelona defender to move to Anfield, according to a speculative report in Spain, as Team Talk analyzes why a deal for either club would not be in their best interest. Kounde has been on the books of Barcelona since the summer of 2022, when he joined from Sevilla, and is under contract at the defending Spanish champions until the summer of 2030. Blessed with the ability to play at right back or in center back, the France international has made 175 appearances for Barcelona so far in his career, scoring 10 goals and providing 20 assists in the process. However, Kounde's performances for Barcelona this season have been underwhelming defensively, despite manager Hansi Flick handing him 16 starts in La Liga and 8 starts in the Champions League. While Kounde has a strong partnership with Lamine Yamal going forward, defensively the right back has been caught out many times. There have been persistent rumors on the future of Kounde, with Fichejes now claiming that Barcelona have set a price tag on the Frenchman. According to the report, Barcelona are willing to listen to offers for Jules Kounde in the summer and want 80 million euros, £69.5 million, $94.4 million for him. The report has claimed that the defender's recent performance has opened up an unexpected scenario, with Barcelona now ready to cash in on him at the end of the season. With Flick not happy with Kounde defensively, Man U, Chelsea, and Liverpool are said to be closely monitoring his situation. The defender's ability to play as a right back or as a center back is very appealing to the aforementioned Premier League clubs. Bayern Munich are also said to be keen on Kounde. Jules Kounde to Man U or Liverpool unlikely to happen. Fichejes is not one of the most reliable sources, and any report from this particular Spanish media outlet needs to be taken with a huge pinch of salt. There have been historical links between Liverpool, Man U, and Kounde, but those have cooled down. For Liverpool, Jeremy Frimpong is the first-choice right-back when he is fit and available, so Kounde would have to play second fiddle to the former Bayer Leverkusen star. It is hard to see the defending Premier League champions pay 80 million euros, £69.5 million, $94.4 million for Kounde in the summer of 2026, especially as they spent heavily on Jeremy Jacquet, who will move to Anfield at the end of the season. Giovanni Leone is another young centre-back who will come into the picture for Liverpool next season when he is fully fit and available. While Liverpool will need a more mature and established centre-back to eventually replace Virgil van Dijk, it is hard to see the Premier League giant sign Kounde, given that his performances have not been great for Barcelona, and he is primarily a right-back. In regard to Man U, Lenny Yoro, Matthijs de Ligt, Lisandro Martinez, Harry Maguire, Aiden Heaven, and Tyler Fredrickson are the options at centre-back for interim manager Michael Carrick at the moment. Sources have told our transfer insider, Graham Bailey, that Man U plan to offer Maguire a new contract, with the English defender happy to commit himself to the Premier League giants for the long term.
Euro's potential is massive, so until and unless either of De Ligt or Martinez leaves, it is hard to see Man U make a heavy investment on another senior center-back, and certainly not on a player who is struggling at another elite club and is better as a right-back. Diogo Dalot and Nusra Mazraoui are the two recognized right-backs at Man U at the moment, so Kounde would not be guaranteed to walk into the team in that position. Latest Man U and Liverpool transfer news. Meanwhile, Man U are said to be in talks with a Bayern Munich midfielder who is out of contract at the German club at the end of the season. Sources have told our transfer insider, Dean Jones, that Man U are zeroing in on a winger, with Marcus Rashford having no future at Old Trafford. Real Madrid have changed their stance on signing Ibrahima Konate, who is out of contract at Liverpool at the end of the season. And finally, Liverpool have held formal discussions with a Premier League forward who could get relegated with his club at the end of the season.